Yo, that's Loki, I'm Tristan, and this is Pitching the Content, where two idiot English majors try to convince the other to watch something. Somebody is the pitcher. They try to get their content up with an elevator speech and see if it survives big brain time. Today's pitcher is me. Alright, Loki. Today, I'm going to be pitching to you Knack's Ashley Court. So, the name Knack, obviously that's not somebody's name. It's a rapper name. And...
Bro,
What?
that's racist, man. Don't you know about my man's Knack, too?
Donkey has really he's been supporting local Filipino rappers. He's really a big fan. I can tell.
Big fan.
Anyway, so Knack is derived from a Filipino word that's going to be a reoccurring thing over this segment. The Filipino word is anak, which means son or daughter. So Knack, chopped off the A, so it went from someone's son or daughter to Knack. Ooh. He's a very, very ridiculously specific niche that there's only like 5 rappers doing this. It's Asian American Christian rappers. Christianity plays like a big role in all of their music. Obviously, I'm not a very religious person. I wouldn't call myself a Christian, but their music really does get to me, and I don't think that me not being religious and them being religious makes a big divide between the two of us. So yeah, Christian rappers, pretty sick. He's Filipino. Of course, I'm Filipino. I'm gonna be translating a bunch of stuff for you in this episode. Some of his friends, Uzuhan, Korean guy, Lyrics, I haven't listened to that one, Manifest, and MC Jin, a bunch of Asian Americans. The first time I saw Knack was in 2015, where I had attended my friend's Christian event. Again, I'm not a Christian. I went to it because he's my friend. And on stage there was a rapper. I was like, what? There's Christian rappers? That's a thing? So Knack performed one of his songs. Or not one of his songs. He performed a whole set of songs that we're gonna be listening to one today and then analyzing it afterwards. So I saw Knack 2015 and never heard from him again because he couldn't get on Spotify. All his fucking instruments he didn't own the rights to, so he couldn't legally post it. Yeah, he's a broke boy. I ordered a sticker from him. It says, Knack right there. And I got it in an actual envelope from him. It has, real ass name on it and everything. It had mine. And then I got this little handwritten note by him. Oh, it felt so nice. So yeah, this guy's my star. Dope. Yeah. He's a little older than both of us. He was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. That's kind of an important theme of his music. And his day job is a nurse. He's a registered nurse. His songs address a lot of different things. Obviously, racial identity, I brought it up a lot of times. We're going to keep bringing it up. And being Asian in the hip-hop scene, Asians aren't really cool. So you don't really get clout from being Asian. He has another song about his parents, about his dad worked in the military and his mom had a day job, so he would never see his parents. So he addresses that. Teaching people about his culture. There's spoken word pieces. He addresses that religious question of how can evil exist if God is real. He has a lot of, I think, important pieces that a lot of people deal with on a daily basis. So that's why listening to his music it's like a grab bag, when you're listening to Kendrick, To Pimp a Butterfly, best album of all time, hands down. It's almost solely about the black experience. And I think when you pick a Knack song, you're not only gonna get Filipino stuff. You are gonna get Christian stuff. You're gonna get not even anything related to either of those. You can get songs about anxiety. There's just one song about him feeling like he can't live up to his own expectations, and his songs are very sad. Clearly, they're not bopping songs. But he called them music best listened to alone. And I think, he might be right there. It's usually rap over lo-fi. Knack's YouTube channel went up in 2008. So, what is that? He was 20... 1980 plus. Okay, late 80s plus 20. I don't know math, but he was like a teenager, like growing young adult, like about
Probably
our age.
20 to late 80s.
Yeah, somewhere around that when he started rapping. And this specific album, though, about 10 years after his debut, January 1st, 2017, is called Ashley Court. And I googled it. Ashley Court is the name of a street in his hometown of Chino, California. That's right outside of LA. I looked it up. Ashley Street, real place. If I had to guess, it's probably the street on where his house was when he grew up. And he has the 2 album covers of the Ashley Court's albums. They're pictures of somebody's house with a Filipino flag. Probably his house. So you don't have to go far for inspiration here. So let's go ahead and let's just dive right into the song. So this isn't going to count towards Big Brain Time Timer. I'm going to link it to you and I'll tell you when you can stop. Alright, you ready to start playing? Alrighty. 3, 2, 1, go.
Nak, ikaw ha? You better check yourself before you wreck yourself. Baka you might hurt yourself, ha?
Cause hip-hop is my house, homie. Going, closing on the escrow. I'm burning up the phonics like I'm bombing on the metro. No need for bread, I be getting fed when I don the headphones. So wet your Biggie quote on my headstone. Lies, sicker than your average. Cause of death, being fresh, pallbearers do a 2-step. Yeah, my procession be kicking like Liu Kang. Hands in the air, be doing the Wu-Tang. Wu-Tang. Cause I'm misunderstood. A Filipino bred in a mostly white hood. A Filipino bread, that's pun style. Let it sink in a second, let the pun dissolve. Now let the pun sit. I'm cooking up your noodle, pituitary medulla. I want the kick-a-boodle, my brain is simulating. I try to imitate them, I didn't want to be different. I try to entertain them. Now I just ignore them. Nike and Jordan, I can't afford them. Can't quite connect, no network detected. Wi-Fi protected, password rejected. Suburban kid in the West End, all alone spreading all the depression he kept in. There's only one thing he truly connects with, hip-hop. His very first love, a best friend got in. White rice is my soul food. Take a deep breath, if hip-hop's your O2. Breathe in, word to the beat. Before you judge by the cover, learn how to read. Got in. White rice is my soul food. Take a deep breath, the hip-hop's your O2. Now breathe in, word to the beat. Before you judge by the cover, learn how to read. It's a rap on a USB headset. I used to battle cats during lunchtime. I used to break dance, reckon them in 6 steps. Used to tag, but I only bought one time. 1, 2, 3, elementary to elegant. Chemically perfected in 4 to 9 elements. And then it all developed, passion of full measure. My mama ain't accepting it, trying to apply pressure like a hemorrhage. And try to press him to walk the path of a doctor. Make the cash be a father and let the family prosper. But what the heavenly father started to author is something I couldn't possibly box. Ain't talking Rocky, but this art on my heart is large. Cardiomegaly, the beat with the rhythm and bars. Starting the recipe. When everyone around might taunt and abandon, hip-hop has always been my constant companion.
Alright, we're done.
I would jam with L.
Cool, you can pause it.
Alright.
Alright, so what'd you get from what you heard?
I liked it. The beat was very interesting, and then also, more importantly, the content of the song, his actual lyrics and stuff. It was very telling about the story of his life and how he was growing up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's pretty interesting. I like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I think that song it really could have been sad. He has a lot of sad songs. This easily could have been like one of them because it's about like, not being accepted by the hip hop community. But he decided to like turn into a bop, which is kind of weird. Because he was like, I'll take you guys being mad at me and then I'll make it cool. Do you listen to music like that? Is this like up your alley?
I definitely like the pretty much everything about the song that I've heard. It was very pleasant beat. The lyrics were very interesting and humane, or human, not humane. Um, I
Yeah.
listened to a couple other Christian rappers myself, so it's not my first time experiencing this.
Mhm.
Obviously, none of them are really Filipino,
Yeah.
so it's still pretty interesting. I still love this kind of stuff. I love music where something that's relevant to a person's life.
Oh, you suddenly are super far away. I don't know what happened. Did you switch microphones?
There we go.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I think so in the chorus he says kain, white rice is my soul food. So he said kain is Tagalog for eat. So like you could in his childhood I could like imagine his mom like hoy anak kain, like it's like lunchtime, and he says white rice is my soul food. So he's taking this Asian dish, white rice is one of the most carbiest. It's one of the fucking worst things you can eat. But he's saying that this is my soul food. So he's looking at black culture, hip hop culture, and they have their soul food, fried chicken and everything that's like part of their culture. And he's saying, yeah, I have that too. You and I, we're both like similar. And I think that's the way to do it. Instead of saying, wow, you guys aren't letting me into your club and you make me feel sad. Instead, he's saying, you and I, Batman, we're very similar. But he's saying that there's elements in this that you can relate to, I can relate to, and we really are living like a similar life, just with different things. So, this song has a lot of puns in it. He said a Filipino bred in a mostly white hood, and then he says, "That's pan de sal." Because pan de sal is a type of Filipino bread, and then he says, "Let the pun dissolve or let the pun sit." I'm cooking up your noodle. Pun sit is a noodle dish, so he's playing with a lot of like Filipino foods, and in the beginning he's talking about putting a Biggie quote on his headstone. Later on in the song, which I didn't think we had to listen to, that next verse was all just names of rappers that he liked. Which is why we didn't listen to it. We don't need a list of rappers. But he's like, Slug always taught me that God could love lovely. Like, he's listened to these songs. Sometimes I feel like Nujab is the only one who gets me. CYN Nishing O2. Like, those are the people that made Feather and Lovesick. So
What's that?
Yeah, Lovesick is a... What, you never listened to Lovesick?
No.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Okay, I'll listen to it after. I'll link it after. I think it's the same like chill rap kind of thing. But yeah, I think most of Nak's music is like this, where it's something I couldn't possibly box. I ain't talking Rocky. Like, he is very clever with his puns. I like it. It's fun to listen to. All right, well,
I love clever dialogue and lyrics like that.
yeah, exactly. I think I don't know, the rap today, there isn't such a focus on the lyrics anymore. Not to be a boomer, right? Not to boomer, but it's really about the flow of the sound now. You can tell because they're, I forgot what it's called, but it's that rap thing where you control the tempo of your song by using those 3-syllable words. Try something. Basically, your line of rap is 3-syllable words, and it's all about like making it easy to listen to, making it fun to listen to. Nak, he doesn't give a shit about if it's easy to listen to. He said the word cardiomegaly, which is like, the word cardiomegaly has not been spoken by a person outside of a hospital. Like,
Yeah, that tends to be a lot of the problems that I have with rap when I listen to it.
Mm-hmm.
Is that I'll like the sound and I'll like the enthusiasm that the rapper is putting into it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's always like the lyrics themselves are always just like things that I can't relate to and
Like
stuff.
Hotline Bling, right? Doesn't like Drake goes. Like I love listening to Drake, but when I like read the lyrics, I'm like, oh, I feel bad now.
Yeah, but that's a lot of different genres of music are like that too.
Yeah,
A lot of
that's-
pop.
Oh, Maroon 5, all of the songs.
Girl, can we fuck, please? Please?
Oh,
Please, Madam Gwen Stefani. Let me have your cooch.
All right, well, it's big brain time. You know what that sound means.
It's big brain time.
big brain.
All right, well, today our literary concept is code switching. And at its bare essentials, code switching is the concept that when you're speaking to one person, you have a code, and when you're speaking to another person, you have a code. That language is two different things. There's the signifier, which is the word itself, and the signified, which is the meaning that you're conveying. So the signifier could mean anything. And when you're speaking to different people, you're basically speaking two different languages. So, for example, Loki and I, we're friends. We're buddies. We're pals. So the way that we talk to each other is like very like, hey, bro, you want to go to the club later tonight and slam back some beers and drink cooch? Like, that's an example
Oh, yeah, we
of...
do that all the time.
yes. That's how you would talk to your friend, but talking to your mom, you wouldn't slam back beers and drink cooch. You would say, hey, Mom, how you doing? Be more friendly. And your diction is different. Your choice of words is different between your mom and your friends. Probably the easiest way to put it. Well, the most obvious example that I could give you here is in a very recent book, The Hate You Give. It was turned into a movie. Book by Angie Thomas. I read it after my birthday last year because John gave it to me. The main character is a girl in high school. Her name is Star, and she's black. And she has a white boyfriend. So she has a white boyfriend, and she talks to him not in the same way that she talks to her black friends or her dad. So her dad and her uncle around the same age, in the same house, in the same scene, but her uncle is a cop and her dad is her dad. So she would talk to her dad, oh, come on, Dad, don't say that shit to me. And then she would go to her uncle would be like, oh, how are you doing, Uncle? How is your day going? Like, just the way pleasantries work, and you can hear the tone of the conversation change based on who they're talking to. That's code switching. Now, we see code switching everywhere. I think... Loki, can you give us some examples of code switching?
Well, let's see. Code switching is something that, well, you're essentially introducing me to the topic here. So, to think of it, I suppose, what's a good popular example? A good popular example, I suppose, would be if you were to think of it in terms of how Jesse, James, and Meowth from Team Rocket talk to each other versus how they would talk to Giovanni, the boss of Team Rocket.
Yeah, that's a good point. Obviously, I'm pretty sure Jesse and James, beat up Meowth. Like, they do the anime, hit his head and shit like that. But then they, bow down to Giovanni. Because you do not want to talk to your boss in the same way you talk to your pet cat. Have you seen Coco?
No, I haven't yet.
Okay, have you seen what other big movie is there about? Okay, Cowboy Bebop. For anyone who hasn't watched Cowboy Bebop, number one, I'm sorry for you. Number two, it's about bounty hunters. It's a ship of bounty hunters who are trying to catch bounties, and there's 4 different people on the team. One is like your badass Jet Li guy, Spike Spiegel. The second guy is the pilot. He owns the ship. His name is Jet. And the third one is like a seductress character. She's badass too. Her name is Faye. So the way that Spike talks to Jet is like, "Hey, come on, buddy. We gotta go get the... Where's my bell peppers and beef? You said bell peppers and beef." But like the way he talks to Faye is always like kind of condescending, you know? Like when Faye leaves, she ditches the ship and goes off and does her own thing. Spike's like, "Oh yeah, I'm not fucking surprised." So his expectations of Faye and Jet are different, and he talks to them in like 2 different ways. And they're all like the same level, you know, they're all like adults, they all have the same job, they all play like good important roles on the ship, but he talks to both of them differently because, you know, different people call for different codes.
I get it.
Also, I think the reason why I brought up code switching today is that, you know, so how I brought up it again earlier about how Knack has different themes. Well, we just listened to one about like racial identity, about him being Filipino, but there's another song called Love's Absence. And here, we'll just listen to the first like 30 seconds and you'll get it. Okay. Just listen. You ready?
Mm-hmm. Just 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
Something else that I'm reminded of in code switching, especially since we're talking about music and even more specifically rap.
Mm-hmm.
The way that rappers commonly talk about women versus how they commonly talk about their friends. Versus how they commonly talk about people they view as their enemies. Those would also be very different codes that are really prevalent in the industry.
Oh, like if you like listen to a Drake song, him talk about or listen to like a J. Cole song where he has lines like, "One shot for my LA bitches, one shot for my LA hoes," but then when he talks to a woman on camera, he's very respectful. So like he's switching from like when he's rapping, "Women are coochie, women are cooch," and then he's like talking to a woman, "Hello, how are you doing? I'm very respectful of your race." Like it's fucking astounding. All right, you ready?
All right. Yep.
1, 2, 3.
Check. She used to take me to my cousin's place, way before the sun had come awake. Went to work, you had to make a way. My mama called, said she coming late. He had a tour of duty on a ship. Saw you off when I was just a kid, crying as his daddy left the dock.
4, 3,
Many months
2,
until we get
1.
to talk.
Cool. That's all you need to listen to. So you can hear the difference in the 2 songs just with the instrumental. Obviously, this one's way more quiet. This one's more subdued. This one's more like emotional. The other one's kind of like, it had like a trumpet, you know? Trumpets are like loud and asshole instruments. They're like, "Hey, I'm here, I'm a trumpet." But like this one just had that like percussive beat and like a voicemail. So, and where code switching comes into play is that's like the song White Rice that we listened to earlier. That was like an anthem about like Asians and black people and like all these cultures. We all got it the same. Let's just enjoy it together. And this song is about his parents never being home when he was a kid. So obviously one's like more of a like an anthem, and then this one's more like a it's my mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really. I don't think there's much to contest there, you know. So, what do you think about code switching in general, or like how it applies here, when like the tone of music? Like, obviously, I just showed you the two differences between songs in tone, and I'm calling it code switching. Where else can we like apply code switching?
Well, just on the very nature of code switching, since it's about talking to people differently, it's very present in everything, which is why it's hard to like think of it specifically.
Mm-hmm. Like plays are built on code switching.
Mm-hmm.
Like just characters interacting with each other, and like they interact with each other differently. Like that's the whole point of a play. Like code switching is like a psychological thing that you can't escape from. It's not like code switching started in like the 1900s or.
Yeah, because like one example of code switching I can think of would be in pretty much any gacha game ever,
Mhm.
how every character you roll is always like, oh hey, you're the main character guy, I love you, disregarding like their actual relation to anything else in the world. But if you see them interact with other characters from the series that aren't your main character, they all have like these unique personalities, hopefully at least.
Mhm.
So that's one big example of code switching. But also code switching is just differences in dialogue.
Yeah.
Dialogue is one of my favorite things to see in writing or any other form of media, really. So just seeing the way that one person talks to their friend versus how they might talk to their girlfriend or something else,
Yeah.
it's very interesting to see the different movements of conversation. And that's the stuff that I love.
Yeah, I think one of the easiest ways. Okay, so I have a story from my job. You know, I'm a manager at a Pizza Hut, and one time we were using DoorDash to deliver pizza to a customer, and we were, and the pizza didn't make it there, and I knew the pizza was going to an auto shop, so like I knew what kind of people work at an auto shop, you know? Like I was picturing gruff guys, people who want their food, they want it now. So obviously I would talk to a person like that differently than I would talk to someone at DoorDash, like a DoorDash customer support, because they're like that person is like, I guess they're like below me because they're serving me. So like I don't have to show them as much respect. I do show people below me respect, obviously, but like conceptually I don't owe them respect. So I had my cell phone in my left hand and my work phone in my right. So I was talking to the customer. His name was Fwang, and I'm like, Fwang, blah 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 blah. Yeah, bro, I am so sorry, bro. I don't know how the pizza didn't get there on time. I don't get it. And then on the other phone, I had the DoorDash guy who I'm trying to like ask where the DoorDasher went, where is the food, and I was like, I understand there is an issue here, but please, we need to get it resolved. Yeah, bro, I'm so sorry, I don't even get it, but my customer needs his pizza, and he needs it now. I don't even get it, bro, that DoorDasher is so stupid, and the pizza will be there in an hour. You know, just like, the concept of being on the phone with two other people, I think, is like, we see that a lot in comedy. Okay, so there's this one movie with Simon Pegg where he works at a call center, and he's taking a call, talking to the customer. Yes, hello, thank you. My name is Brian, and he's mouthing, or it's like push to talk. So he can talk to the guy in the cubicle next to him like, oh my god, this bitch is so stupid. Yes, I understand. We can process your refund. This motherfucker doesn't know how to freeze meat? Like, so we see that all the time in media. And it's like usually juxtaposed and play for comedy.
Yeah, like back when I used to work as a cashier at a supermarket,
Yeah. Oh,
code
man.
switching is, I guess, something that I have to do really often because a lot of times you'll have customers with very different attitudes.
Mm-hmm.
It's like maybe you'll get like a mean customer and I'll have to act really apologetic, and then they'll leave, and the guy after them will be like, "Yo, that guy was an asshole." I'll be like, "Bro, really? Like, what the hell is wrong with him?"
Yeah. And then your boss comes by talking about the customer, and you would just agree that this guy's an asshole, so you and your boss, yes, that was completely fine, happens all the time. Like, code switching is just so important in life. Like, if you don't know how to code switch, you're kind of fucked.
Well, even if you don't know how to, odds are you probably end up doing it without realizing.
Yeah, no, because that's just how, like, the brain works. It's kind of strange how important code switching is, but we're never taught it. Well, we're kind of taught it, like when your parents say, "Don't talk to your mother like that," and like impress on a child that you need to talk to different people in different ways. I remember one time in high school, I was very disrespectful to my mom, and I was like, "Look, Mom, stop being such a bitch." And my mom was like, "Don't you talk to me like one of your friends." And I was like, "Oh, oh no, I'm so sorry." So yeah, I don't call my mom a bitch anymore. That's horrible. You shouldn't do that. Respect your mom if they're a good person. I said sorry.
Respecting human beings, pretty cool.
Oh, I don't know, man. Respecting human beings, it sounds like a lot of work.
Bro,
Honestly, the cashier at the grocery store, I don't know about that guy.
he's kind of fugly. Bro. He kind of needs the confidence, bro. He's kind of fugly.
Bro, he got paper towel on his microphone, bro.
Bro, that's crazy. Good thing I got a napkin. That's not me.
So, off topic,
So-
but I was eating tempura green beans earlier, so I have some ranch at my desk. Why don't you impress the crowd while I return this ranch to my fridge?
Oh my. He's gonna take his ranch to the Old Town fridge. He's gonna freeze till he can't no more. So, Tristan's pitch today was pretty interesting. Very always interesting to see new music from different perspectives of life. One of the things I've always loved in general is just learning other people's perspectives of life. It's one of the things that I'm very curious about.
Wow, I totally agree.
Who are you again?
Huh? What?
So, Tristan,
Yeah.
as our pitcher today,
Yeah.
I do have to say that you pitched a pretty good tent.
My tent. It's got sticks. It's got a tarp. It's got a fire. My tent, like that. Like that.
I don't know about any of that, but the tent is nice. We'll see about next week's pitch.
Well, don't hold me in contempt. Let's get this contempo going and say ciao.
Yeah, I'll hold you in a content.
I can't think of any more. Oh, he's gone. Oh, he's back. Oh, we swapped sides. Thanks for watching.